You've already touched on the situation in the Pacific and the way in which the war has obviously weakened the US position in Asia more broadly beyond the Middle East. And there's been plenty of discussion about whether the US becoming further bogged down in the Middle East might encourage China to attempt to cross the Taiwan Strait and invade the island. Do you think that's plausible, or do you think it underestimates the incrementalist and cautious approach of China, and that the leadership may well feel that they can bide their time, that they can integrate Taiwan into mainland China further down the line when the US position is even weaker and the sort of gravitational pull of China's economy in Asia is even greater than it already is?
People are always predicting that China is going to take Taiwan within the next 5 years, and they haven't been right yet. So I'm certainly not going to join the halls of those who have made those predictions. I think that China has its own timeline for Taiwan, and I don't think that whether the U.S. is bogged down or not is the deciding factor in whatever they might think is the right call there. I also think that there's plenty of reasons to think that this wouldn't be an ideal moment for them to do that. There's been a lot of talk about, obviously, the military, the generals that have been, whatever you want to call it, purged, caught up in the anti-corruption drive, etc. So, there's that factor. But also, if you just look at China's recent policy towards Taiwan, I think that there's plenty of evidence that they're still relying on the idea that there could be some sort of political reunification. There was just a high-profile visit by the KMT party leader in Taiwan to mainland China with a lot of talk about Taiwanese people should be able to say they're proud to be Chinese. I think they maybe are banking on some fear, right? Because certainly the situation has demonstrated how effective a blockade can be if China were to try to implement that. Taiwan is very, very dependent on its oil imports, and everyone is hyper aware of what a liability that is right now. So maybe that they're thinking even that this is a better opportunity, a better environment for them to push forward. Look at all the instability in the world. Isn't it safer to be with us, basically, than it is to risk a conflict in the future? So, I don't know, but there are still plenty of reasons to see and to believe that they're going to continue what would clearly be the preferable option, which is to not have to launch a major military conflict in order to take the islands.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode of PTO Extra, then please consider becoming a £5 supporter of the show on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/poletheoryother to sign up.